Her hands were old, wrinkled, and trembling, but when she held Barack Obama's hand, it felt like the weight of generations pressed into his palm. She looked into his eyes with tears rolling down her cheeks and whispered, "Son, I never thought I would live to see this day. I've been voting for 70 years, hoping, praying, dreaming, and now, you are here. You are our dream." That moment changed everything for Barack Obama. He wasn't just a young politician chasing a campaign anymore. He was carrying the unfulfilled hopes of millions. He was the living proof of a dream born centuries ago, in the darkest days of slavery, when black men and women were chained, silenced, and stripped of dignity. He was the answer to the cries of those who had been told they were less than human. He was standing on the shoulders of Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery. He was walking on the path paved by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who stood in front of the Lincoln Memorial and declared, "I have a dream." And now, here he was, the son of a Kenyan father and a white mother from Kansas, holding the hand of a woman who had seen everything: segregation, Jim Crow, the assassinations of leaders, and a long, painful fight for civil rights. For her, Barack Obama wasn't just a candidate. He was history breathing in front of her. When Obama walked onto that stage in November 2008, after winning the presidency, he remembered her face. He remembered her words. And as he looked out at the massive crowd gathered in Chicago, he saw thousands of people crying, cheering, and holding each other. Black men and women who had once been denied the right to vote were now watching one of their own sworn in as the leader of the free world. "Tonight," Obama said, his voice heavy with emotion, "is your answer. Change has come to America." In that single moment, every barrier that had seemed unbreakable cracked open. Elderly black women in church hats hugged strangers on the street. Fathers lifted their children onto their shoulders and told them, "See? One day, that could be you." People cried not just because America had elected its first black president, but because the journey had been so long, so painful, and filled with so much sacrifice. Obama's victory was not just political. It was personal. It belonged to that old woman who held his hand, to Rosa Parks who refused to move, to Martin Luther King Jr. who dreamed, to every mother and father who had told their child, "Work twice as hard, because the world will see you differently." And for Barack Obama himself, it was the realization that he was not just Barack anymore. He was a symbol. He was proof that hope could survive centuries of hate. He was the living embodiment of a nation's struggle, and on that cold November night, the world stood still as history finally, beautifully, came alive.
Whose inspiring story of politician would you like to hear next? Tell us in the comments below.